Past the false allegations being made. They said these is false allegations, y'all. That basically they didn't give these people a 3-day notice and put them out. When you had the newsman there that asked you about it and you asked him was he fucking stupid. But then y'all released a statement saying it happened. I don't know. And this is Lala News 3, and thanks for tuning in to another episode. So, this episode I'll actually be talking about foreclosed nursing home that evicts its residents with a 3-day notice. You heard me right. So, Tranquil Gardens assisted living and memory care in Cherokee County, Georgia. For those that are aware, that's Cherokee County, Georgia. They informed their residents last Tuesday that the property was being foreclosed on and that they will need to move out by Friday. This was last week, so Friday has already happened. Okay, for those of you that, okay. Now, the residents' families actually had to scramble to vacate their loved ones and relocate them. And some of them, they said, require hospice and memory care. So that's kind of hard to do in like a 3-day time span. Okay. One of the residents' daughters, Nellie Garcia, actually said 3 days of horror for me to get acquainted to get her out of here. 3 days. So, now, yes. So, also, besides Nellie Garcia actually speaking out, Channel 2's, okay, Cobb County, which that's Channel 2 in Atlanta, their Cobb County Bureau Chief, Chris Jose, they actually came to the facility, which is the chief of that county's stuff that goes on there. They're the ones that's over everything. So he actually came out himself, okay, as far as the news person. Chris Jose. So he was at the facility when the residents actually packed up and left at noon, and he actually asked the owner a few questions. And yeah, the owner, yeah. So I'll tell you how that conversation went. You might find it interesting. But anywho, so Mr. Jose, which would be the news person, the news anchor rather, he asked, what's going on over here? Is your property in foreclosure? Mr. Stewart, who is the owner, or one of the owners rather, he said, I'm not interested. Mr. Jose said 3 days notice though. Mr. Stewart, the owner, said, would you please exit the building? He said a lot of people are upset. Mr. Jose had said a lot of people are upset. Mr. Stewart replied, Jesus Christ, are you fucking stupid? And stormed away. So this is what he replied and to the newscaster when the newscaster was trying to ask him what's really going on. Is it really in foreclosure? You really gave these people a 3-day notice? Like, let me know the tea. And he basically went in on the man and asked him was he fucking stupid and then put Jesus in it with a cuss word at the same time. Jesus Christ, are you fucking stupid? Quote, end quote. Now, Mr. Stewart, you know you ought to be ashamed of yourself. That sentence is like, none of that makes sense. You can't even put that together. You can't put Jesus Christ and then ask, are you fucking stupid in the same sentence. Okay, so now, one person actually did get an answer from Mr. Stewart. So Ken Byers, get an answer from the owner, and then he talked to the news and told the news what happened. Okay, so Ken Byers, he said Stewart actually admitted that they ran out of money and that they had no money to pay the mortgage, pay the workers here, or none of that. So to relocate my mother and everybody else that's in a wheelchair and has memory care, that's disgraceful. So, like I mentioned, some of the people were in need of hospice, memory care, you know, all of that, whatever have you. So, that's kind of hard, like I said, to figure out and manage in 3 days, especially if you have a bunch of residents trying to find other places to go that's in the same area within a 3-day time span. You're going to have an influx, and then everywhere's going to be full, so you're going to have to make a lot of other arrangements. So now, the employees' reactions. They also had some employees that spoke out. When the locks got changed, actually, at the place, the employees stacked the shirts that they used to wear, like their uniform. Okay. And they piled it in the parking lot and set it on fire. I don't know how that happened, but they basically piled them up. I guess I do know. They piled them up, they lit them up, and then they watched them burn, poof, like in the parking lot, like it was nothing. So that's what happened. Employees, they basically said that the reason they did that was because they felt they were burned by the owners, and that they wanted to burn the logos that were on their shirts since they felt burned by them. Does that make sense? You burn me, so I'm burn your shirts with your logo on it, even though y'all in foreclosure and closing and probably in bankruptcy and everything else, but we'll get into more details on that as well. Okay, so now the director of the facility as well, speaking of employees, Tiffany Eccles, okay, is actually cooperating with police and providing any information that they need in order to see if it's a criminal or civil case. Okay, so I don't know how, that's going to work, but they basically saying she's snitching. She telling everything because she pissed. Because she going to be out of a job. I mean, like, what? Anyway, she said thieves do things like this. They stole from these residents. They accepted these residents' rent money and ran off. So what she's saying is that the residents had paid rent that month. That's messed up. If they pay rent and then they got a 3-day notice, that ain't right. Okay, so the company actually did issue a statement. Okay. And they said Tranquil Gardens was truly a product of passion, and the Stewart family's first and foremost concern has always been to care for the elderly. I'm sorry, y'all. These lights is hot as hell. I got the lights and everything on. Yeah, anywho. But it's good filming, though, so gotta have lights on. Anyway, so now, they said that their first and foremost concern was been to care for the elderly, but they gave their ass a 3-day notice, which is like, okay, anywho. They said, unfortunately, we have been forced with several unforeseen challenges that in the end proved to be catastrophic, which means, boom, took them out of here, gone, boop. Okay, so a year-long shutdown due to COVID was something that they're unable to recover from as a new business. While we've worked tirelessly to try to remedy the situation and explore every possible avenue, a domino effect of things out of control transpired at the end that led to a very heartbreaking and rapid end to the facility. Again, the safety and care of our residents is the most important thing, and we are truly grateful for all of those that have worked quickly to help our residents find new homes. I hope that was part of that. Anywho, we know that emotions are high when family is involved, and we hope that this time, that in time they'll be able to see past the false allegations being made. They said these is false allegations, y'all. That basically they didn't give these people a 3-day notice and put them out. When you had the newsman there that asked you about it and you asked him was he fucking stupid. But then y'all released a statement saying it happened. I don't know. Anywho, being made, and know that we are truly devastated to close our doors and say goodbye to all of our residents. Are you though? Because, like, what the hell was going on? Who was stealing the church's money? I mean, not the church, but that's like a phrase. But who was stealing the money? Somebody had to be some mismanagement, misappropriation, something happened. Okay, COVID, like, what happened? They was giving out PPP money everywhere else to all the fraud people. Y'all didn't get none? That's crazy. So Brian Stewart, as I kept saying Stewart throughout, Brian Stewart is actually the co-owner. So they said as well that the families were told that Senior Living Center was in foreclosure. Documents show that the owner's other entities are in bankruptcy, not the management company that owned the Senior Living Center. So the owner's other entity, so the owner, which would be Brian Stewart, had other business entities that were in bankruptcy, which means he's in bad shape financially everywhere. So he just created a bunch of businesses, what it sounded like, and stole from them. But, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly, so, But I'm just saying, it shows, how can it happen everywhere? Everywhere you done been, everywhere they got your name on it is in bankruptcy? But not the management company that owned the Senior Living Center. So he had another one. I said he was a co-owner. That's what, right. Okay, so documents show that Stewart filed for bankruptcy in 2019 under Five Dreams Holding LLC. The declarator of debtor shows that they owe more than $10 million. $10 million, people. So they done racked up a debt of $10 million amongst, the 2019 filing, which I guess, I don't know if that's obviously probably was placed in the bankruptcy, this business as well. And then it all had to dissolve at the same time, is what I'm looking. Because $10 million, like, he had to give up everything. And put them people out. But then if they accepted their rent money, that's a civil situation. I think it's messed up. Damn, like, what? They didn't know ahead of time. They knew way ahead of time. They already was filing paperwork way in 2019. And then when he went to court a long time ago, I'm sure he knew before now that they was going to be taking whatever they took or closing whatever before 3 days before. Oh, that's shady as hell. And if he took them people money, he even shadier. Okay. So, anywho, let me know what y'all think about that. But that is the foreclosed home. I mean, the foreclosing of the nursing home that evicts the residents with a 3-day notice that owed $10 million, which would be Tranquil Gardens in Cherokee County, Georgia. Boom. Let me know what y'all think. This is La La News 3, and I'm out.